hello, and welcome back to the 1983 National Football League Draft.
And with the first round pick,
John Elway, Jim Kelly.
Welcome back to the
Draft.
And with the first round pick,
Dan Marino and Rudolph's
NFL Draft. And with the first round pick,
Deion Sanders.
I was kind of scared. I thought the Detroit was going to take me. I would ask for so much money that I had to put me on layaway.
Welcome back to the
NFL Draft.
Good young players with the transfer pass. Year in and year out.
Welcome back to the
Draft.
Wide receivers, running back,
Tackle.
quarterback, never done the trap.
There's been a trade. Ricky Williams.
On a chicken Sunday.
Welcome back to the
Draft.
Defensive line, wide receiver, running back, tackle, quarterback. That's all I get into that.
Looks like you're wearing your signing bonus.
Almost sales.
Welcome back to the
NFL Draft. And with the first round pick,
Eric Dickerson.
Reggie Bush.
Welcome back to the
Draft.
And with the first round pick, Keyshawn Johnson.
Welcome, ready.
And with the first round pick,
I'm big man. I'm a Viking
and
man.
with the first round pick,
Who the hell is Mel Kiper? Who the hell is Mel Kiper? My neighbor has more credentials than Mel Kiper, and my neighbor's a postman. Play this back. Play my ratings back. My ratings if you want. Well, we've looked at film, and then we've looked at film, and then we've looked at film. We do have a lot of film. We've looked at film, and then we've looked at film, and then we've looked at film. As you can see, and I've looked at a lot of film. Buy me a bus. Marcus Russell. Buy me a bus.
Tim Couch.
Buy me a bus. Tony Mandarich.
Achilles Smith.
Press. Whack.
Hey, man.
Good development to the next all-pro player. He's physically tough, mentally tough, the kind of kid that you can trust. To both put their faith in me.
San Diego Chargers.
Put their faith in Ryan Lee. Hello?
This is the physical emotion of discomfort for the guy. This is human drama.
Welcome back to the
NFL Draft. And with the first round pick, Mark Sanchez. Mario Williams, NFL Draft. And with the first round pick,
Atlanta has selected Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre. So Atlanta gets a favor by selecting Brett Favre.
Welcome back to the
Draft.
Good young players with the transfer pass. Year in and year out.
Welcome back to the
Draft.
Wide receivers, running back,
Tackle. Quarterback.
every year in the draft. Defensive line, wide receiver, running back, tackle, quarterback. That's all I get into that.
Welcome back to the
NFL Draft. And with the first round pick, Dave Bradford, Eli Manning.
Welcome back to the
Draft. And with the first round pick, Donovan McNabb.
Welcome back to the
Draft. And with the first round pick, Michael Vick, Phillip Rivers.
Welcome back to the
Draft. And with the first round pick, Aaron Rodgers.
Welcome back to the
NFL Draft.
I've never seen anything like this.
And folks, we are live. Welcome to the fourth quarter comeback with Daniel of TD Live Sports. Today I'm going to take you through a quick rundown of the top running backs in the 2021 class. Tomorrow is the NFL Draft, and let's see who has the potential to go in round one. Our top running back on the board this year is Naji Harris, a five-star recruit who originally committed to Michigan, who is at Alabama. Naji is 6'2", 230, and had 20 touchdowns as a junior and 30 as a senior. Of course, as soon as he got to the program, he was behind Josh Jacobs, Damien Harris, a multitude of NFL backs. Alabama has just been fantastic at pumping out the top-tier talent. Naji fits that mold. 6'2", 230. We've seen him leap over people. We've seen him elude people. He's excellent in the receiving game, as evidenced by his 27 catches as a junior, his 43 catches his senior year. All-around red zone threat. So as we look at his strengths and weaknesses that I haven't already covered, the size-quickness combination, 230 to move like he does, that's Derrick Henry type stuff. His stiff arm is fantastic. Reliable receiver, unlike Henry. He's got a nose for the end zone. Quick feet, cutting, leaping. If you've got a zone scheme, he's going to turn that up quickly. He can do it all. Some of the cons, heavy collegiate workload. His final 2 years, 50 touchdowns, heavily involved in the passing and receiving game. He's got good, not great speed. Through his freshman through junior year, longest run was 35 yards. But of course, as a senior, we saw that breakout speed. Now he's strong and tough, but let's not get carried away and think that he's got physicality like the future Hall of Famer Derrick Henry. Now he could be that. We just haven't seen that yet. So we compare Naji as the 18th best player on the board and the #1 running back overall to LeGarrette Blount and Edgerrin James. Now, LeGarrette was utilized as a return man and in the receiving game. Edgerrin, of course, more as a rushing receiving threat. So he has the ceiling of an all-pro running back with the floor of a rookie contract rotational starter. Our mock draft has him mocked to the New York Jets at the beginning of the 2nd round. Our second running back is a 20-year-old Javonte Williams out of North Carolina. Javonte was a valedictorian of his class in high school, had over a 4.0 GPA. 5'10", 220 pounds. He has the most yards after contact and the most broken tackles per carry of any running back in the NCAA in this 2020 season. So as we see, backing up Michael Carter in 2018, 5 touchdowns in 10 games, 5.2 a carry. Then we saw the big increase, got his most carries as a sophomore, 933 yards, 5.6 a carry, 5 touchdowns, and then almost a 2.0, as we saw, 1.7 increase in yards per carry, had less carries and over 200 yards more as a junior. So only 20 years old, sky's the limit for Javonte. He's got a great size-speed combination with excellent physicality and power, great vision, elusiveness, with an upside of receiving. Now, Michael Carter was used in that receiving realm much more than Javonte, but when utilized, he showed excellent hands. Has to improve in his 3-down capability. That's his ball security, his blitz pickup. And then we haven't seen that he can handle a full workload due to them splitting it. So we have him actually ranked as a #2 overall back, and we compare him to Matt Forte, a potential Pro Bowl running back, and in the least, he's going to be a rotational player. He's got too much talent as a ball carrier to not get the ball throughout his rookie contract. We have him mocked as a good fit to the Arizona Cardinals. Our third running back is his teammate, Michael Carter, a senior, who's 21 years old. Michael immediately contributed at North Carolina, having close to 600 yards and 8 touchdowns as a freshman. Consistently in the 500-plus yard mark his entire career. He went over the 1,000 mark as a junior, and then as a senior had over 1,245 yards, 8.0 a carry with 9 touchdowns. Complete game breaker, had over 20 catches in 3 of his 4 years in college. He's got game-breaking elusiveness in the rush receive return game. He's a receiving threat with excellent speed and quickness, runs through arm tackles, and has great vision. His vision is otherworldly. That really stands out when you watch him play. Now, he utilizes that vision by running through arm tackles that he sets up with his speed and quickness due to his game-breaking elusiveness, but you have to have that vision to finish the play. Some of his concerns that we've heard, 5'8", 200 pounds, to me that's good size, but they say size, he's not the quintessential 6-foot, 230-pound back like a Naji Harris. Running in short yardage, we saw that go to Javonte Williams as far as responsibility. Not that Michael can't do it, it's just we haven't seen that yet. Same goes with the red zone, with the durability issues, and this is a guy that you want to ensure is a scheme fit. You want to make sure you have a role for him. He would fit well with the Bengals, among other teams. Another team that he would fit well with is a team we have him mocked to in the draft, and that's to the San Francisco 49ers. So we compare him to Napoleon Kaufman. Napoleon was a first-round pick out of California. He went to the Raiders and spent 6 years with them, averaged over 5 a carry for his career, and ended up retiring to go ahead and be a minister. So his calling was elsewhere outside of the gridiron. Had a very successful 6-year career. So we have the potential for Michael Carter being a Pro Bowler, with the floor being a 3rd down back. Definitely will contribute in the return game, and pretty much if he's not going to get on the field as a running back, you can look to develop him as a slot. We saw that he has excellent receiving ability as well. And our next running back is Travis Etienne. If you look at the numbers on Etienne, the 5'10", 205-pound running back out of Clemson, former national champion, you notice that he had a significant uptick in his receiving capability as a junior and senior, phenomenal numbers, and his rushing ability as a sophomore and junior at over 1,600 yards per at 8.1 and 7.8 a carry with 24 and 19 touchdowns is as insane production as you could imagine. Etienne is an all-around excellent back, and this is a very strong class at the running back position, and he's definitely worth a 2nd-round pick, if not a 1st. So we have his strengths as a 3-down back who's consistently improved in the pass catching game, excellent blitz pickup, consistent, durable, productive, gets downhill, doesn't leave yards on the field. Some of the concerns we have are the heavy workload he's had in college, his slender shoulders, his short yardage ability, and his lack of hip swivel. So he gets through arm tackles, uses his speed extremely well. At the NFL level, we will see if he has that elusiveness. And he has had some fumbling issues. We have him compared to Gio Bernard, a long-term starter with potential Pro Bowl potential. And in the least, he's going to be capable of contributing on third downs. So we have him mocked as a good fit to the Miami Dolphins. Jarrett Patterson, a running back out of Buffalo, is 21 years old. If you want to see Barry Sanders light as far as the college level, take a look at Jarrett Patterson's tape. The 21-year-old, 5'9", 95-pound back had 1,072 yards in 6 games this past year. Even more insane than that, 19 touchdowns. Now, he had over 1,000 yards in all 3 years that he was in college, averaged over 5 a carry, and averaged more than a touchdown a game in all 3 years. And, of course, over 3 touchdowns a game in his final year. So in 32 career games, 53 total touchdowns. Some of his strengths are his lateral agility, his bounce as well as his balance, his vision, his nose for the end zone, and his quickness. Like I said, Barry Sanders light. You want to see a guy who's got insane highlights. Take a look at Jarrett Patterson. Some of the question marks or perceived weaknesses are his competition, his size. Is he a 3-down back? We haven't seen much in the receiving game. Can he run with great power? And is he effective in short down and distance and red zone situations? Now, he has looked very good in the red zone at the college level. However, we know against that elite level competition, that's something that has to be proved, and we haven't seen him consistently on a 3rd and 1 against an elite level team. So not that we're going to hold it against him, it's just a question mark. So at the next level, we compare him to Dion Lewis. Dion was extremely productive for the New England Patriots, an excellent running back who had injury issues out of Pittsburgh, behind LaShawn McCoy in college, who ended up with the Eagles and found his role in New England as a Super Bowl champion. Our next running back is Chuba Hubbard out of Canada. Had over 2,000 yards as a sophomore or as a junior, came back for his senior year and saw a significant decrease in production. Some of the strengths that Chuba has are his sprinter speed, excellent first step and quickness, great vision. He's an effective receiver with a strong stiff arm. He was an all-around back for them. Oklahoma State, of course, leaned on him more with Tylan Wallace out in 2019. And with Tylan back in a more formidable passing game, we saw a sharp decline in Chuba Hubbard's production. Chuba could be a steal based on what we've seen in the past. However, it wasn't his best year in college, of course. So he's mainly run out of open sets, a lot of shotgun formation, has had some fumbling issues in pass protection, and is visibly lean. But he is a game breaker. I have seen him in games carry over 30 times, so durability is not a concern. And he's a very tough, hard-nosed player with a lot of upside. We compare him to Kenyon Drake, a potential 3-down starter in a zone scheme system, who at the minimum is going to be a rotational back. And we have him mocked as a good fit to the Houston Texans. So Kylan Hill out of Mississippi State, he was a guy who had well over 1,000 yards as a sophomore and junior, and then under Mike Leach as a senior this past year. Only played 3 games, had 15 carries, and had 23 catches in said 3 games, and said, this game doesn't fit for me. But he did prove with the 15-catch game alone that he is a dual threat phenomenon. So a thick build, he's strong, he's phenomenal in the pass game, he's a violent runner. He wants to get downhill, he's looking for contact, he wants to initiate it. If you're coming in to blitz, he's looking to stifle you. He's got impeccable leg drive, and he's very reliable in short yardage red zone situations. He lacks home run speed. He's not a game breaker, and he lacks patience at times. He wants to get going. He wants to get downhill as soon as possible. His lateral agility is inconsistent, and as I said, he opted out after 3 games due to the scheme of Mike Leach, where he wanted to make him solely a pass catcher. And he was okay catching the ball, just wanted to be utilized a bit in the run game also. So 23 catches, 15 carries in 3 games. Not a bad idea just to prep for the draft, considering the coronavirus, etc. So we have him compared to current Chiefs running back Damien Williams. And matter of fact, as far as a mock, we have him as a great fit to go with Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the Kansas City offense. Raman Dre Stevenson, a former JUCO transfer to Oklahoma, is 5'11", 235 pounds, as evidenced by the Senior Bowl. He had been 246 on a listing by Oklahoma prior to that. And we see in his 2 years there, not too effective in the passing game, 10 and 18 catches. Saw a significant jump in yardage despite only playing 6 games, but no touchdowns in the receiving game over his 2 years. Extremely effective on the ground. Somewhat supplanted the injured Trey Simmerman as a junior, leading Simmerman to go to Ohio State. And, of course, in 6 games this past year for Oklahoma, 665 yards, over 100 a game, and over 1 touchdown per game. Some of the strengths that Ramondre has are his size and physicality, his patience. He's excellent in short yardage. He's surprisingly smooth at the second level. And, as I said, not a lot of tread on those tires. Lacks a bit of lateral agility, elusiveness, has a positive THC test prior to the bowl game. And there's question marks. Is he a 3-down back? Despite his big size, not the best pass protector. We compare him to Antoine Smith, former Patriot, where sometimes he looked like a phenomenal athlete, and other times he was stumbling over his own feet. All in all, Ramondre looks like a good pick. We have him ranked as the number 92 overall player in the draft, so you're looking at a 3rd-round grade on him. Kenneth Gamingwell is our next back. The 21-year-old, 5'11", 195 redshirt sophomore, sat out this past year, only played as a freshman, had 1,459 yards, 13 touchdowns, and was an excellent receiving threat, 50 catches, 610 yards. We've seen that out of Memphis lately. They've all been productive at the next level. Examples of that would be Antonio Gibson, Tony Pollard, and Darrell Henderson of the Rams. Receiving accessory, he's got great elusiveness and agility, and recruited out of high school, he's a quarterback, so he's got great vision, understands what he's looking at a young age. He's progressed as far as what the passing game is looking to accomplish. He's got home run threat due to being slippery, and he's got excellent speed. Now, he does lack ideal bulk, so he's not going to be your 3-down running back. Not going to use him in the short yardage, red zone. I mean, he's capable of it, but you're looking for a better option at the NFL level. We compare him, actually, the way he looks on tape to Percy Harvin. We actually have him lower than the 65th best player on the board. These were preliminary looks, and looking at the way that Stevenson and a couple other of these backs really performed as he sat out this season did drop him down our board. So as we saw other players continue to improve, get their opportunities in systems that they were patient, whether it be Simmerman going to Ohio State, Stevenson getting a shot at Oklahoma. We do see a lot of upside with a lot of backs in this draft, but this guy is more of a gadget weapon, a Lynn Bowden, potential 3-down running back. At minimum, he's going to be a special teamer with the ability to be a 3rd-down back with some slot potential. And for our last running back is the aforementioned Trey Simmerman. And Trey was a transfer out of Oklahoma who ended up going to Ohio State and really showed out for them the entire college football playoff. He was outstanding. Bring this up for you. So Trey had an ACL injury at Oklahoma, but he had 870 yards in 8 games for Ohio State. So, of course, he had over 100 yards per game. And he also had his best games against the best competition. So if you needed something, whenever Justin Fields struggled, not that was awful, hand the ball off to Trey Simmerman, and Trey was a punishing back. Now, at 6'1", 215, he runs like he's a lot bigger, so I'm not sure how that will translate to the NFL level. But in his college career, 2,946 yards, 6.5 a carry, 26 touchdowns, another 486 in the receiving game with an additional 3 touchdowns. So a very productive back, even if used off and on. Powerful runner, explosive first step, sneaky elusive for a bigger guy. Low mileage somewhat for a senior back despite injury concerns, and he's effective in short yardage and in the red zone. So, like I said, struggles a bit, wondering if he's a 3-down back, not too productive in the passing game, has had an injury history, and struggles a bit in the receiving game and with the long field speed. So that's gonna do it for us. Our NFL comparison for Trey is Wendell White, potential NFL starter, and at minimum a rotational short yardage back on his rookie deal. So thank you very much for joining us. This is Daniel with TD Sports Live, and we look forward to hearing back to see who you have in your top 10 running backs and what we're missing, what you disagree with, what you agree with us on, and we'll see you tomorrow night at the NFL Draft. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.